and welcome obviously to another horse video. I'm getting video bombed by my horse right now. Hello, yes, hi, no? So today I want to briefly touch on a couple of things regarding moving around a horse as a blind person, and just a couple of quick little safety tips for moving around the horse and handling the horse if you can't see. So there's a couple of things that are appropriate for general horsiness, and there's a couple of things that are very specific to just blindness or vision impairment. So the first thing is the sort of safe side and the not safe side of the horse. Now, you will hear a lot of times people referring to the horses having a safe side or a not safe side, especially in pony club and beginner riding lessons. This is more actually just about generally we stand on the horse's left hand side and lead the horses from our right. This is also the same side that we mount up from and dismount to. There's actually no difference in the horse between what side is what, because they are practically the same. You can lead them from the other side, you can mount up from the other side and everything like that. So I just want to talk about letting the horse know where you are at all times. Now, it's important to be aware of the fact that if you stand directly in front of the horse, like I am now, they can't actually see you because their eyes are here in the side of their head. They cannot see directly in front, or they cannot see directly behind. So what you're going to want to do is, if you are directly in front of them or directly behind them, you're going to want to let them know that you're there. And I personally prefer that no matter where you are around the horse, you're always staying in physical touch with that horse, trying to show them where you're standing as Maggie tries to eat the camera. So when you're moving around the horse, it's very important to always have one hand on their body to let them know that you are there, and to just rub that hand along their body as you move along. Then when you get to the rump, you want to make sure that you are in a safe distance from their back hooves, because they could decide to swat a fly or something like that, and swing one of their back hinds and kick you. So if you can hold that monster still. So what you want to do is you want to feel along your horse's body, and then you want to come to their rump, and you want to put your hand on the dock of their tail, which is the very top of their tail here, and you want so then as you come around to her bum, what you're going to do is you're going to, as I said, put your hand on the dock of her tail, which is this bit here, and you're going to extend your arm all the way out and walk around the back of the horse. And she saw me doing that and she's like, I'm going to move my bum out of the way. And then you'll put your hand back on and continue the contact as you move around the horse. So as I said, it's important to always have at least one hand contacting the horse at all times, so that you can feel what they're doing and where they're moving off to and where they're dancing to and everything like that. And also so that they know that you're there, and that keeps you safe. One of the other things is you should never duck underneath the barrel, which is this bit underneath here. You might think point, there's plenty of room between the front legs and the back legs, but she could decide to kick herself in the belly because she's got a fly annoying her, and your head could be there, and when these hooves are swinging, they hurt. So never walk underneath their belly to get around the other side. The only time you should go underneath their belly is if you are saddling your horse up and you need to reach for the girth strap. You would stand on one side and you would reach under with just your arm and pick up the girth strap and bring it under. But I'll show you that in another video at a later date, talking about saddling up. The other thing that you should never do is when your horse is tied, you should never walk in front of the horse between the tying point and their chest. And the reason for that is because if you decide to walk underneath here and the horse sees something or whatever, they might decide to step forward and you can get crushed between their body and that, so there's nowhere to go. So that is one of the other important things. So always walk around the back with your hand touching behind them. Now, as you can see, as you can see, one of her biggest problems is rubbing on my body. So to stop that from happening, what you would do is you would either just move the head away with their halter like that, or you would ask them to take a step back and just remind them that that's your space. If you don't have a lead or halter on them, you might just bump their nose and that would push them back, or even just to get them really out of your space, clap your hands and make a loud noise and they would go away. So they're sort of the three main tips about actually moving around the horse for anybody. Now, for someone who is blind or has low vision, there's a few other really specific things that I want to talk about, and that is in relation to finding the horse and knowing that it's your own horse. So as you can see, Maggie is here in a paddock on her own, and there aren't any other horses for me to get confused with. But if you are riding at a riding school or something like that, and there's several different horses in your paddock, you might need to find a way of identifying your particular horse. Now, I do not advise that you are a beginner rider who is blind or low vision and you're going into the paddock to try and catch your horse. I think that is a skill that you need to learn over time, and that your riding instructor needs to feel safe about you doing. So if on your first lesson a riding instructor asks you to go into a paddock and catch your horse, I highly recommend that you don't do that unless you have got some kind of horse experience and you know what you're doing. But when you do get to a point where you can go into a paddock and find your own horse, it's important to have a way of identifying it. So if your horse has a particular feeling rug on, or if it's the only horse who's wearing a rug, something like that is very easy to identify. But at my previous riding school, we didn't really have that. My mare that I was riding there after a while got pregnant, so it was easy to tell which was the mare with the big fat belly. But before that, they all had the exact same generic halters, which were these just webbing halters that Maggie's got on. And what we used to do with the horse that I rode was we actually had they actually had name tags on all of the horses' halters, and for most of the horses, the name tag was on this top ring of their halter up here. But for my horse Lily, we actually moved her name tag down to the ring that you clip the lead rope onto, so that it was in a different position and it was easier for me to see which horse was which. So as I said, never duck underneath the belly or come under in front of them when they're tied. Also, when you're approaching a horse in a paddock, it's very important to approach them side on, because as I said, they can't see directly behind or directly in front. So always approach them side on. Now, for a blind person, I know that I make this mistake. You move very quietly to be able to hear what is going on around you. You might, take lighter footsteps and move quieter. Now, that is perfectly good if you're trying to listen for something, but the quieter you are, the more a horse may think that you're trying to creep up on it, which means that it's more likely to to either run away from you or to not come to you or anything like that. So if you're walking around your paddock looking for your horse, the best idea to do big footsteps, try and make your footsteps a bit louder. And also, if you are a totally blind person and you use echolocation, horses are very easy to echolocate because they're obviously quite a big structure. Now, if I walk over here and I turn back to face her, I can actually hear where her body is. I can hear that in that direction her body is there, and in this direction there's nothing in front of me. So horses are very easy to echolocate, but if you're the type of person who echolocates by using a tongue click or a hand clap, you want to possibly get your instructor to help you desensitize your horse to that sound, because some horses are used to having the sound of a hand clap to ask them to move and everything like that. So you want to start maybe having a special sequence of claps that you use for your echolocation, and a special sounding tongue click to help you with your echolocation. Never just approach a horse and make a sudden loud sound, because they can spook, especially if they're not used to that. So with Maggie, I only do one clap, and that tells me where she is, because with her 2 claps is to make her back off away from me. And also, if I was to make this noise, that means also for her to move. So you have to make a different sound with your mouth when you're echolocating your horse and when they're eating the camera. So that is really it for this video about moving around a horse, and a couple of tips of doing it for someone who is blind or has low vision. Thank you, Miss Dancer, for doing good, being a good model. We haven't seen you for a while, have we? I want my food. So I hope that helps. If you've got any more questions about moving around a horse, or some tips and tricks for doing it as a blind or vision impaired rider, please let me know in the comment section down below. Also, if you've got any other questions about riding, let me know. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something, and we will see you next time. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye? No? Oh, okay. Thanks for watching, guys.